Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom Live for Thursday, the 24th of May.
It's Tuesday.
What did I say?
Thursday. 2 days' time. We're ahead of a time machine today. Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday, same day.
Great.
I'm Zan Johnson, and this is Adam Steinhardt, and we are going to reveal today the one very important thing that you must have on your website.
This is like the number one thing on your website of all time. Every website should have it, right?
And it's not your phone number.
That would help though.
Yeah,
that's
the number two. Yeah, number two thing. All right, Adam, reveal what is the number one thing we must have on our website.
Okay, well, when you think about the whole point of having a website, it's to actually tell your customers what you do. And of course, the number one question we have as consumers, without a doubt, is how much does it cost? How much does it cost? The product or the service that you are selling, the number one question is how much does it cost? And it's remarkable, Zan, to see how many websites actually do not do this.
Well, no one does it.
Well, it's funny, because it's almost like there's two worlds that you live in. The first world being the world you have as a consumer, where you are surfing 24/7 and getting really grumpy when you want to buy something or understand something or compare something or discover the opportunity cost of something, only to discover that the price isn't there.
Yeah.
And then you flip over to this other world, which is all about people in the business side of things creating website and content that doesn't have the price. And so we kind of need to say, right, well, if I was a consumer of my own business, I'd want to know the price.
Absolutely.
So why isn't it there?
So it seems to me that in an e-commerce world or an online shopping environment, the price is readily available.
Yep.
So it feels like we have these two mindsets where people are, if it's something that I can purchase and put in my cart and pay for online, then great, I can see the price.
Yep.
But if I'm, for example, looking at getting solar panels for my roof, the price is not necessarily always detailed. So why? Why is that?
It's an interesting question, and it goes down to the psyche of how we build our sites and build our pricing in general. When you talk to businesses, and we do a lot, and they always say, oh, we're very scared about putting the price online, and because we don't want consumers to be scared away.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing is that, and we'll go through this a bit. We've got a good 10 minutes of your precious day. So the first thing is that the job of the website is to educate your customers and actually help them trust you. So it's very important. So if you're actually hiding the one thing that is absolutely paramount to trust, which is the price, then the level of trust is going to drop off substantially. Now, the second thing about that is that people say, look, I don't want to know the price because then they can go to my competitors. Well, that's exactly right. Now, the thing is, if you don't show the price and somebody is actually trying to discover what your product or service actually costs, then they're going to go Google again.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep Googling until somebody does tell them the price.
Yeah.
Now, Google, they can find stuff like 165,000 items in 0.32 of a second, which is quite remarkable.
Fast typing.
People very fast typing. They are going to get the result.
Yeah.
So it may as well be your website that provides the information for that consumer, and therefore giving you the brownie points of the trust that comes with that. Now, the other thing is that if there is a journey where you don't actually provide much information to the consumer, then the price may come as a shock. The job on your website is to actually provide value that justifies why you do charge what you charge. Because ultimately consumers are shopping not on price, they're shopping on value for money. And so in the absence of value for money, then they only have price to compare.
Sure.
And so it's very important that your website is showing the consumers why you are coming to this price, why you're arriving at that price. Is it quality? Is it about awards? Is it experience? Is it about the things you need to do your job properly? They are the components that make up your price, and that is why you actually set your price at what it is. And let's not forget, it's okay to make a profit. A lot of businesses seem to fear the big profit word, and a lot of consumers need to realise that if you disallow business to make a profit, then they won't be there for you.
Yep.
It's that simple. And so there's nothing wrong with businesses making a profit, it's how businesses survive. So very importantly, that explanation of what your price is made up of, why you come to determine it, and the actual price itself, these are the critical factors, and a lot of people don't have that information before what should be a pricing conversation.
Okay, so if we look at a scenario where you don't actually have a definitive price each time, so it's not, your product's not the same, you offer a bespoke service, for example, how, if I want to convey what my price is going to be, but I can't say for product X it's going to be $25, what would you recommend as a way around?
We're back. Sorry, call on line 1. If you want to have a question, by all means type them in, but the calls are not to be had via the Facebook Live process. So the question was, if I've got a complicated price, something that's unknown and different, customized, well, there's nothing wrong with that. In that situation, it's really important that you actually give information about all the factors that you consider when you're making the price of that particular customer.
Okay.
And so what are the things that go into the price understanding for you? What are the things that get thrown into the melting pot and create the price equation? These are the types of things, and that's the sort of thing you can talk about. And the other thing you can talk about is use studies, okay? So not necessarily naming previous people who have bought from you, and not necessarily specifically saying exactly how much they paid, but talking about others before you have, with this type of project, would have paid about this much money for this one. And these are the factors that make the difference. Okay, these are the levers that change the price. And so they're the types of conversations which educate the consumer. And it's really helpful too, because the last thing you want to do is go through this entire sales process and then get to the pricing bit and the customer have sticker shock and say, well, it wasn't for me in the first place. So by educating them early, that's giving them the chance to say, right, well, this is a conversation I do want to continue with.
Yep.
This is a conversation that is worthy me pursuing. I can understand the value for money. I appreciate what you're doing, and I trust you because you're actually telling me this information to help me make a decision.
And of course, from the from the business owner's perspective, if you're adding a page to your website, that's another page to your website full of great keywords and excellent content that you can then use for social media repurposing and all of that sort of awesome driving of traffic.
And I'm so glad you asked that question and made that point, because the point is that everybody, it's probably the most searched thing in Google.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to? Or what is the price of this? Okay, it's typically where the consumers will start. So if you are answering that question, if you are answering the question of price, then it's highly likely that you're going to be found first. By comparison to your competitors who are not answering the price and scared. And this is where you get to control the conversation. If you put your price there and you're found on Google, you may not win straight away, because what's probably going to happen is the prospect will then say, right, well, what else is out there? Let's get a comparison. And so let's say website B doesn't have the price, negative. Website C doesn't have the price, negative. Website D doesn't have the price. Well, you know what? Website A told me everything about the price. So where are you going to start? What are you going to pick? Which one are you going to pick? The one that gave you the information, the one you trust, and you're automatically suspicious about B, about C, about D. Is that really where you want your business to start a sales prospecting process?
Yeah, I was just going to pick up on that trust thing. It all comes back to the building of the trust, doesn't it? So price is a big, big trust factor.
Absolutely. And you know, the real estate industry, I really hope you're listening, because start putting prices on houses, please, because ultimately consumers are very frustrated by your industry not telling us the price.
Yeah.
And particularly as consumers get wise, and this can be extrapolated across all business, as consumers learn more, the more they learn about your product, the more they understand the price and kind of have a gut feel anyway about how much you cost. And so somebody who's coming in a really cheap situation or super expensive situation, a knowledgeable consumer will work that out and say, well, that doesn't seem right. Something is wrong here.
Okay. So where on my website should I have my price? Is it something that I should kind of have buried deep in a menu structure somewhere, or should it be in my nice top menu on my homepage? Where should I have my price information?
Yeah, I like it. In terms of the price itself, I mean, it sits at the bottom of the funnel when it comes to a process, okay? Now, bear in mind that a lot of people are going to be finding your page based on Google if you have what is the price, how much does it cost, and make sure you're putting that in the title of the page. How much does it cost to have X? Because that's what I'm going to write as a person searching. Now, in terms of the structure of your website, we talked before in previous editions, which you can get live off the website of our Kingdom Live show. We've spoken about top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel, okay? Tofu, mofu, bofu.
Yes.
And so price is very much a bottom of funnel conversation.
Yeah.
And so we like to segment the web pages into those funnel sections. So top of funnel information, middle of funnel information, and bottom of funnel information. So the price conversation always comes in at bottom. Okay. How it gets there is entirely up to you. If you've got, obviously with B2C style e-commerce stores, then it's totally, on there, available for the consumer to evaluate straight away. But the other thing that's key, and we may do an entire episode on the search function. So you need to have a search function on your website that's really simple and easy to use and powerful, not clunky, that allows you to actually go and find how much does it cost. And so we typically would always, when we're building websites, always put the Google search engine specific for that domain on the website. So it has all the power of Google, but just for that particular website. So you can actually go and find how much does it cost.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's very enlightening. So perhaps go and have a look at your own website and check out whether you do or don't detail your price. And if you have any questions about
that's a good point, because let me help you with that one. So how you get to this, the easiest way to assess whether your website's answering those questions is to say, right, if I'm buying from my own website, what are the 5 things I want to know about? Okay. And every single time, without fail, you will say price. And you'll probably say other stuff like trust, experience, comparisons, etc. So those big 5, write them down and then look on your website and say, how am I answering these 5 key questions? Because it's very likely that the consumer will have those questions. And the chances are very high that people are trying to hide the price away from for some strange reason.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, thank you very much. Before we go, we're going to touch on our favourite app of the day, which we're going to endeavour to bring to you each day that we do our Kingdom Live episodes. And today's app of the day is an awesome...
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Sure, sorry.
Bad drumming.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't sound like... that doesn't sound like drum roll.
No, that sounds like a helicopter.
Anyway, the app of the day today is Canva, which is an awesome product which we use quite heavily here at the Kingdom. Fast, cloud-based, brilliant visual tool.
Yeah. I'm interviewing you.
You what?
I'm interviewing you.
Oh,
this time. So, Zan, what do you love about Canva?
Well, what I love about Canva is that it's based in the cloud. It's very easy to use. I have zero skill when it comes to Photoshop and Illustrator and all of that sort of stuff. But I can use Canva, which is a big bonus for me. So whenever I put out one of my Zanzibar blogs, I always have a Canva image at the top, and then we use that image to push out across the social media platforms that we promote our blog posts on. But the great thing about Canva is that I can automatically resize that image.
So are you talking about the magic resize tool, Zan?
I am talking about the magic resize tool.
Oh, wow.
Very exciting. So Canva's a great product, really easy to use, cloud-based, free unless you want to go with the work option, which enables you to have a group of people on the one account. Team brand, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. It comes with some really cool templates, really funky ideas. There's a marketplace as well, so you can go and purchase other people's designs. There's images that you can also download. Or you can also upload your own images that you have of your own photos, etc. So really, really great app.
Now, did you know, Zan, that the founder of Canva is actually Australian?
I did know that.
And also that Guy Kawasaki is one of their evangelists. So an ambassador for Canva. So Guy, famous for his interaction with Apple in the early days.
Absolutely. So please go and check out Canva. I'm sure you'll have a little bit
Canva.com.
Canva.com. You have a bit of fun with it. And that is a wrap for today's episode of the Kingdom Live. You are able to check our previous episodes out at thekingdom.com.au/
Kingdom-live.
We changed it yesterday.
Right. So it was podcast, but the podcast is coming next week. So
awesome.
We say that every week, of course. But the Kingdom-live website, super powerful there. You'll find all the previous episodes. This is like episode number 13 or 14. So, and we've actually watched 1 or 2 of them, and they are legitimately hilarious. Not really at all, but a bit of fun. But if you've got any questions, then we are totally here to give you the free answer that you would normally pay for. So please send through your questions, shoot them through on the Facebook Live or through Twitter. We're on Periscope today too for the first time. Hi Periscope people. And if also you'd like us to review an app or talk about an app or what is the best app for something, then that's also totally something we're absolutely keen to have a crack at.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for another episode of the Kingdom Live.
See you later.